Hi everyone, we are here today at the ICAN Forum in 2022 in beautiful Maldives, and today we have with us here Shahrazad Magrabi from Libya. She spearheads the Libya Women's Network, and we'll be talking to her about her work as a peace builder, about the great work that she's done on her Islamic peace tool, and we're excited for you to be with us.
My name is Shahrazad Magrabi. I am from Libya. I am the co-founder and director of Libyan Women Forum.
And Shahrazad, can you talk a little bit about your work as a peace builder? What is it that you do exactly?
As a peace builder, I work in the space where we try to promote the social cohesion, building peace, or the culture of spreading the messages for culture of peace, pluralism, and inclusion, which is the aspiration of the Libyan people. We've been doing that since we started in 2011. However, we moved deeper into the topic after having Libya passed through many stages, including the civil war. And we felt we are obliged actually and privileged to be part of the Libyan people who are really promoting peace because this is the only way out of the problems and the situation which we are currently on, so we can move on to build our lives and to hopefully be able to have a stable political situation and secure the future of our future generations.
Great. And can you pinpoint a specific action that you've taken that you're especially proud of in your work?
I believe what I've done with our members and many of our partners have been incredible in the sense that we, despite all the obstacles, the challenges, the problems with the security, which the risks led a very intensive programs that hopefully would have made an effect on the Libyan people in general and our communities to take on the message, the peace as a main focus, and also build the capacities of Libyan women to participate in the public sphere at all levels.
So sort of like network building and the kind of shaping
Part
that,
of that, it had to be.
Yeah.
Libya geographically is spread, and we had to work with many partners from the different regions. And the way to do it is to really build networks that we continue contact with them and work with them on the different topics and subjects which we do, which is a civic really education, but at the same time also we do a lot of advocacy, and we participate in many events that hopefully they are part of the movement of the civil society to mobilize women in particular, and to reach really their aspirations and potentials at the same time, including the latest network which we established was the Peace Circle network, which comprises of over 21 civil society organizations in the 3 regions.
Great. And thank you so much, Shahrazad. And now we're going to head over to Rosalie, who's going to talk a little bit with Shahrazad about the Islamic peace tool that was developed some years ago by Shahrazad and her group. So over to you, Rosalie.
Thank you, Helena. So, Shahrazad, you have developed this tool called the Islamic Peace Tool. And I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about how you came to think of the idea of developing this tool and what you are trying to achieve with it.
Originally, actually, the idea came much earlier on when we were trying to run some trainings for women to entice them or encourage them to participate in the political processes and elections. And through the trainings which we were running, we found it a little bit sometimes difficult to really go through some of the human rights conventions or that they encourage explicitly, women participation and their right in the public space. And there we found a little bit of oppositions saying that our religion, our culture, have limitation for women participation. So it was a bit very difficult to kind of maneuver and advance, the topic, and discuss it in a broader, sense. So we thought, okay, if everybody was bringing religion, we thought, okay, we might as well then bring the topic by introducing or bringing someone who is a religious scholar, a respected person from the locality, from the country, and let them talk about it and discuss it, because sometimes we don't have enough knowledge to answer their questions and make them feel that no, they're not doing something wrong. It's okay to participate. It's okay to be powerful. It's okay to contribute in the decision making.
It's interesting because with the tool you're doing two things. You're laying the foundation for women's participation in peace building and public life and kind of providing a justification for that. And then you're also able to use it to counter extremist messages and to provide a counter narrative. So it's just an interesting combination of two approaches.
You have to be sometimes, in some countries, you have to be very clever in how you tackle these such problems because they are quite sensitive. Libya is a Muslim country. It is moderate, but there is a lot of extremist views. And this is a very big problem we are facing in the country. And to be able to be successful, to be able to still have the space for us to work and for women to take a role, you need to be really managing it very strategically.
Right.
Yes.
And those extreme views particularly impact women.
Absolutely. Most of it is impact women. Some of it, no, because we also did involve some men in some of our workshops. What we faced then, it was the messaging of peace. They really didn't want to hear peace as per se, the word. So the language was very also important in our work because there is a lot of hatred, there is a lot of revenge, and some people would say, you're talking about peace, my whole family have been killed. You talk about peace, I want to take revenge. What are you talking about? So it was really very difficult sometimes. And you have to be very strategic, as you said, and very sensitive to people's feeling, who you are really dealing with and messaging and giving these messages to.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you about the dissemination of the tool, because I know that you have followed sort of a very deliberate process of disseminating it and using it in communities, also through peace circles as well. Could you speak a little bit about that?
Yes, of course. The people who we built their capacity in Tunisia, we had signed with them a kind of an agreement that when they go back home, they are going to be disseminating this information, what they got, the messages they collected from the workshop back home. We gave small funds to these organizations to go and do the workshops back in Libya. And also we had printed the document. Also, we had put another booklet which have only the messages rather than the whole papers and the discussions which we had. And then they went back home, and each of these organizations had to do 4 other awareness building or workshops within their communities. And in that, we had covered over 600 women who attended these workshops. But through that, the information they had gathered and they had spread around Libya and been used, because the documents now is very widely spread and distributed. and is being used as a reference now. And also when there is a big arguments or they are challenged, they are just referencing or using they pull it up and they say, well, that's what Quran said. You are saying it this way, but this is the explanation, and that's the proof. And especially when you have really strong evidence of women, like some a wife of the Prophet Muhammad, who have particularly was there as a consultant or as a mediator or as a negotiating between different groups. And it is documented. This is documented literature. It's not something that we are just brought it, for that.
Right,
yeah.
right. And so important, because women's role in Islam, but also women's history more broadly as mediators, as peace builders, is so often forgotten and not documented and left out of history. So bringing that back and documenting it in itself, I think, is a very important effort that you've led.
Yes.
Thank you, Shahrazad, for telling us more about the Islamic Peace Tool, and I will hand it back over to Helena.
Thank you so much, Shahrazad, for being with us today. We're here at the ICAN Forum in 2022 in Maldives, and we've been having a wonderful discussion with Shahrazad. I hope you all enjoyed it, and please follow us on Twitter, check out our Instagram, look at our Facebook page, our website. There's much more on this. Other members of the Women's Alliance for Security Leadership that are sharing their work that they're doing in their countries, in their contexts, and it's just fantastic, and we want you to be a part of it. So head over there.